30 insane little details in Fortnite Chapter 6. And I wouldn't blame you if you missed the chicken chonkers. Epic's originals are easily some of the best shoes you could buy, but these are my absolute favorite because of one single detail. We all know chickens are famous for laying eggs, so if you take a look at the soles of the slippers, there they are, all cracked and broken because you've been walking on them. What about when you're flying down? Well, if you equip the new Daily Flyer glider, you'll ride it like usual, dangling from a pair of handles underneath. However, there is one way to change this. Pair it with the Superman outfit and the handles will be removed. Instead, he'll just catch it and holds it above his head as he flies down, just like the comics and movies. They've also added my new favorite vehicle to the game, letting us drive the mini battle bus. It is perfect as an SUV, and it only gets better when you hit the boost. Usually these cars need an exhaust or an engine at the back to shoot the energy out, but since the bus is covered, the emergency door opens. And that's not all. See the booster shooting those flames? Yeah, that's the burner we see on the top of the battle bus every match, used to inflate the balloon, and it's even got the Vendor Tech logo. Drive it over to the academy, and you'll be able to explore the grounds for even more secrets. Around the school corridors, you can spot a bunch of posters advertising courses, but also some warning signs. Since this is a school for students with insane powers, it makes sense that they've got rules against feeding Morgan shadow ravens or even using teleportation. There's even ones allowing telepathy, banning comic POW actions, and warning you against angering Storm Beast. Now there's one character added recently that's not getting enough recognition. Clyde is the second raccoon skin we've got now, after the first had a bunch of Trash Panda references. This one though takes it to the next level. On his back is a wanted poster, but his holster straps perfectly line up to create his bandit mask. They even have the eyes drawn on top. Sometimes you gotta check out the alternate styles to find hidden secrets, like on the new Omega Alpha skin. Players are pretty disappointed to see his second variant wasn't the iconic black they were hoping for, but instead gold. It just felt strange. Oh, this is actually because the style is inspired by the female counterpart Oblivion. Now, we've all seen the emotes that sit differently depending on what skin you're wearing, but now we have ones with a different laugh. The chest bump and shock grip emotes dropped earlier in Chapter 6 and sound completely different if you're using a male or a female outfit. Check it out. Remember those warning signs I was just talking about? Well, disobey some of them and you'll actually get something out of it. There's one in the new basement warning players against stepping on the grind rails, but if you take it as a hint instead, you'll get a huge rotation trick for free. And a skin for this year's summer event also has a double meaning behind it. This is Summer Dummy, obviously the yellow crash test guy we've seen before, but decked out to hit the beach. He is also made entirely out of wood. So now with this redesign, he is based on the wood mannequins artists used to draw. And that's not the only object from real life you can spot in the summer update, because Bruno Mars' set is also hiding a toy from our childhood. Take a look at his guitar and you'll see it's actually a Tamagotchi pet with a little Bruno on the screen. Spin it around and he's even got the power switch with the reset button on the back. Another item just changed Fortnite canon after 8 years. The Blossom Pod backpack houses a small futuristic plant, but the cool part is this screen with the temperature, 16 degrees. By thinking, what's so interesting about that? Well, this actually tells us that the world of Fortnite uses degrees Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. Otherwise, it would be below freezing. And if you've been dropping at Demon's Domain to fight Daigo, you might have spotted some remains of the OPOI. From his shop signs to the underground workshop. He corrupted the entire of Mass Meadows to create this place, but search far enough and you'll find the Berg gas station shop is still hanging on, with their sign of products being sold from this hut. While you're going to check it out, equip the Black Squadron dive from the Star Wars season, and you'll be able to spot another detail. As you're skydiving, the X-Wings fly right alongside you in attack positions, but stop moving and the S-foils will close. This gets even better because Epic also updated both the gliders to use this feature, so with a simple click of the trigger button, you can choose how you want them, closed or attack position.
Lock S-foils in attack position.
I'd advise against clicking Pineapple Pete's buttons because this guy's a literal bomb. He's obviously designed so his coat looks like the chunks of a pineapple, but combine it with his jacket straps and the random pin on his shoulder, and you'll realize he's a giant pineapple grenade thing. At least we can count on the droids being friendly, because despite the season being over, you can still head to the Star Wars POIs and meet them. Some are hanging out over on the beach with a campfire, while the others are hidden through a vent in the Resistance base hoarding a bunch of slurp. But if you want a truly insane detail, just look at how much effort Epic put into making Bruno's new skin. Now when he does an emote that makes him happy, players have noticed that you could actually see the smile lines and dimples on his face. It is so realistic. That smile will soon fade if you're told to head to class, but stop and listen at Supernova Academy because that's exactly what happens. While you're wandering through the POI, you could actually hear school announcements play over the intercom in Fortlish. That's like the Fortnite language. Now, a huge iceberg crashed into the island a couple weeks ago, and while nobody knows why, that didn't stop the gnomes and YouTube bots from moving in and checking out the new scenery. They're not just outside though. Head into the lab and you can break into a secret room where they're hiding a bunch of slurp barrels. Another brand new emote for the summer is the Lil Submarine. It's another one of those mini traversal emotes you ride, but there's something about it that 99% of players will miss. Listen closely. You heard it, it's the sub sonar going off. But for the sound file, Epic actually reused the prop ping that's been in creative for years. I feel like I'm never gonna unhear this. Now, if you've been checking out the new Superman rewards, ready to add them to your locker, you might have seen the last style and noticed a strange squiggle appear on your screen, and that's not a bug. This is actually the signature of the legendary Jim Lee, a comic artist who has worked on just about every hero you could think of and is currently the CCO of DC Comics. So, why is it here? Well, not only did Fortnite bring in James Gunn's new Superman design for the skin, but the pen and ink version is drawn entirely by Lee. He's not the only legend who's made an appearance either, because Big Dill is also back, and he's the sponsor of Kappa Kappa's brand new investment, Pickleball. Head over to the new courts and you can spot cardboard cutouts of him standing around, as well as posters with the Pickle himself promoting Pickleball to the island. Not the only on-the-nose joke either, because the new pupper slippers are not just adorable, but also have another great detail. It's on the sole, and this time instead of smashed eggs, you'll find a bunch of bones hiding under there. I love the amount of effort Epic put into their own superheroes this season, giving them powers and a personality. It only gets better when you're using the bass boost gauntlets. Synthwave has their song Let the Music Play in both a jam track and emote in the past, but if you listen, you'll also hear it every time you use her power. Next time you're landing to grab them from Supernova Academy, check out the roof of the main building. I know it sounds strange, but from above, you'll notice the shape of the skylight and tower engines form together to make a sword. Or maybe it's a crossbow, I don't know, depends how you look at it. And don't call me crazy, because who remembers the sword-shaped lake in Neo Tilted that ended up being the biggest hit? I mean, come on. It also turns out Fortnite is cooking their own skins this summer, and I'm talking literally. We've got a brand new outdoor-themed set of instruments like a lawnmower, fishing rod, and lastly, the barbecue grill. Seems great until you notice they're cooking both chicken wings and beef patties on there, which is okay. And then we have sausages. I don't know how the brat skin feels about this, but who knows, maybe it's his babies. We also just got the entire lineup of cartoon dads in game, and their sets are full of details, but my favorite is hiding in Cleveland. You might remember him being a mailman in the show, but did you know that Epic recreated an entire scene? And if you remember, our main characters of Chapter 6 are actually siblings. Geigo, Jade, and Kendo are all part of a family, so it's even cooler when you check out their weapons in the new LEGO Expeditions mode. The impatient and reflective dual daggers belong to both Jade and Kendo, and their descriptions even tell us that their grandparent passed them down to them. It's not just your eyes you gotta use to spot details, it's also your ears sometimes. If you've been neglecting the First Order base since the Star Wars season ended, now is the best time to visit. Not only are there no stormtroopers to fight, but if you stop and listen, you can hear all sorts of sounds, including the iconic Imperial alarm. Another sound you gotta hear for yourself is the brand new portal at Demon's Domain. Now, we've had plenty of these over the chapter so far, but this one is different. It is far more evil looking, and if you listen closely, you could hear demons whispering inside. But those are 30 more insane details in Fortnite Chapter 6. It's been Tommy, and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.